Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel on transitional justice. I'm Rob.
And I'm Ben. Our aim for this channel is to break down the core concepts and essential case studies within the field of transitional justice.
Since this is an introductory video, it will be pretty broad. However, for our case studies and more specific videos, it will be more detailed.
And as always, our sources and farther research will be able to be found in our video description with links. Welcome to our first video.
So today, we're providing a brief overview of what transitional justice is, what its main pillars are, and countries that have implemented transitional justice processes. So Ben, what is transitional justice?
Well, Rob, the International Center for Transitional Justice defines transitional justice as how societies respond to the legacies of massive and serious human rights violations.
Yes, transitional justice is victim-centered and has four widely accepted pillars, and a few others that are hotly debated, but that's for a video for another day. Those pillars are truth, justice, reparations, and guarantees of non-recurrence.
Each pillar has its goals, but also mechanisms to achieve those goals. Truth commissions are a commonly utilized mechanism to implement truth seeking and telling initiatives, foster collective memory, and acknowledge human rights violations.
Justice typically consists of trials for those responsible, like military commanders and heads of state, as well as other high-ranking officials responsible for the human rights violations.
Additionally, all victims have a right to reparations, which seek to repair the causes and consequences of human rights violations and inequality in post conflict societies. There is a common misconception, mostly in the US, that reparations are only monetary in nature. In transitional justice, reparations has a more expansive meaning. It can be monetary, but it can also include things like access to land, housing, healthcare, education, or other initiatives.
Guarantees of non-recurrence is definitely one of the more unique pillars. It most commonly manifests itself as institutional reform, ensuring that government institutions and structures that allow the atrocities to occur are reformed to promote democracy and human rights. Ideally, these institutions are reformed to a degree that they can actively prevent future violations or atrocities.
But guarantees of non recurrence can also include reforming history education, providing trauma counseling, cultural and artistic initiatives, memorialization, and archiving, among others.
That's a great point. Some of what you mentioned, specifically providing trauma counseling, can be considered a form of reparation, and memorialization and archiving can be considered a form of truth-telling. As such, it is important to understand that no pillar or mechanism operates in a vacuum. The effectiveness of transitional justice is in the intersectionality of all these processes cumulatively.
Very cool. So we've discussed the definition of TJ. That's what we'll be calling transitional justice for the most part because it is a long couple of words, as well as the main pillars of TJ. Now, it is important to understand where transitional justice has been practiced.
The easier question may be where TJ mechanisms have not been implemented.
Maybe so. It has been implemented in countries across the world, including in the aftermath of the Holocaust, the Rwandan genocide, and the Bosnian genocide.
It's also been implemented after other atrocities and human rights violations, including in the aftermath of apartheid in South Africa and civil war in Sierra Leone. And these are just a few examples.
In future videos, we'll be providing you with case studies on each of these countries for more details. We will also explore some national and international mechanisms for transitional justice, as well as the legal framework that allows them to operate. And we'll be examining some debates within the field that are currently shaping its practice and its future.
Yeah, our case studies will not simply be countries, but will include examining the role of women and children in TJ, as well as discussions surrounding a possible fifth pillar to be added to TJ.
Fifth pillar, very exciting. We hope you found this brief introduction to transitional justice interesting. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below and we'll get you some answers to the best of our ability.
Thank you for listening. Take care.